From LA Late headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Afternoons LA Late.
It's a big day here on Afternoons LA with incredible great news about your fourth stimulus check update of 2021. In today's recording, we'll go over that monthly stimulus check and why the Democrats are likely to give you more months of checks. Then we cut to the recon. Done deal, signed, sealed. $3.5 trillion of checks are coming to you and the American people under the biggest payout we've ever seen in a generation. We'll go over all the incredible details in the second half of this video. Then we cut to the incredible world exclusive as the number one guy that determines how and when the budget is done says he's going to be giving you MSCs if you have his back. Do we have his back? Of course we do. In the third part of this video, we go over the world exclusive of that as well. And then, today on Afternoons LA, meet a new cast of characters. It's Wanda Wen and her husband, Will, who live in Wensville. And there they are. All they do is ask when. When are they back in town? When are they voting? When are they calling the vote? When are we seeing the bill? And when is Afternoons LA starting? It's starting right here, right now, direct from Santa Monica. This is Afternoons LA. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're having a beautiful Labor Day weekend, and it's gorgeous here in Santa Monica, California, along the coast. And hopefully it's beautiful also in Wentzville. Wentzville, Missouri, yeah. Where all you ask about is when. In this recording, we'll be going over that monthly stimulus checks and why the Democrats are likely to give you more months of checks. Then we got to the recon. Done deal, signed, sealed. $3.5 trillion of checks coming to the American people and the biggest payout we've ever seen of a generation. $3.5 trillion of checks in this incredible fourth stimulus recon. Then we go to the incredible deal items that are at hand, the MSCs, and why the number one guy in D.C. in charge of the budget bill for the budget committee wants you to have an MSC. That is multiple stimulus check. We'll go over why you need to have his back and why the deliciousness is upon us right now. And then, of course, we'll meet the Wens. And with that, here comes the deliciousness because this is an exciting, wonderful weekend. I'm excited for you to join me on Afternoons LA. This is LA, America's only 24-hour day, 7 days a week. Financial news channel in America, live in the morning, taped in the afternoons. Coming up next, overnights, crypto, and evenings LA. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers are a YouTube record. I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. Meantime, if you've not signed up for those LA alerts, you need to do so. Totally free. It's at news.la.com/alerts. You'll get an alert like this one. And about 1,000 of you are still sitting in the confirmation zone, so make sure you confirm. The confirmation looks like this. It's email and name, all totally free, and then you're ready to rock and roll. Get those alerts wherever you are and on the road. Let's go to those monthly stimulus checks, House versus Senate, Senate versus House, and who wants to give you what. They both are monthly, and they're both reoccurring, but their approaches are slightly different. On the Senate side, we have Warren, Wyden, and Sanders, more about him later in this video, who want to have you have a monthly stimulus check in the fourth stimulus recon. They don't say the number of months, and they don't say the amount. Then we have AOC and Omar, $2,000 a month, but they don't say the number of months. Then we have the House Ways and Means calling for a monthly stimulus check, but they don't say the amount or the number of months. The American Petition, which is you, Americans, calling for a $2,000 monthly check, but they don't say the number of months either. Of course, the one that's captivating a country across the globe, even on this Labor Day weekend, is the House bill. That's pandemic plus 1 year, $1,000 a month after the first month of 2000. Remember, there's no $2,000 a month 1 year provision. It's $1,000 a month for a year after the first month of 2000. Pandemic plus 1 year. So let's go over the incredible great details of this fourth stimulus check starting right now. Senate versus House, House versus Senate. Vote in the live chat. Tell me where you're tuning in from and how the weather is where you are. Who gets this fourth stimulus check? You do. Democrats represent that if you got a third stimulus check, you get a fourth stimulus check. Single individual, $75,000 or less. Democrats want you to have a fourth stimulus check. Married couple, $150,000 or less. Democrats want you to have a fourth stimulus check. Double it. Family of four. Democrats want you to have a fourth stimulus check. Quadruple it. And if you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, Democrats want you to have a fourth stimulus check. The fourth stimulus check is not income. It's not taxable. And the fourth stimulus check would be the same amount to everyone, including adult dependents. Finally, the fourth stimulus check is not a waivable check. So if you're at the beach this weekend and the check runs up to you and starts waving, that's not the U.S. check. It's the Australian check. May have some shrimp on the barbie for you as well. And then finally, if another check runs up to you and starts kissing you on both cheeks, that's the Italian check. In the second half of this video, we'll go over the incredible details about the fourth stimulus recon. Done deal, signed, sealed. $3.5 trillion of checks coming to the American people, the greatest payout we've ever seen of this channel. But we'll go over what this means for you and what application-based stimulus exactly is. Then the final 15 minutes of this video, MSC. Multiple stimulus checks. The number one guy in the number one position on the number one bill, the budget bill, the recon, wants to give you MSCs. We'll go over the world-exclusive details and what you need to do and what you are doing and what some of you aren't doing. We'll have all that incredible details and new financial analysis you've never seen before about those MSCs on Afternoons LA. But first, let's get a pen and paper ready and let's get some big money for rent, utilities, food, internet, and more. If you turn on broadcast media today, which you probably didn't because they've been horrible in the reporting about everything lately, one of their topics was, of course, people facing now eviction, people needing money for food and rent and utilities. And did they help anyone get the money? No, they just simply ran sort of personal pieces about the subject matter. But this is the place where I'm going to get you that money. So get a pen and paper ready, and we're going to start with some inspiration stories that came in the last few days. If you have one as well, send me to Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and I'll feature you all throughout this Labor Day weekend. So we had Kyra, who got $17,000 just about 2 days ago. Congratulations to her. Valerie got $9,000. Dawn got rent, electric, and gas, and she says, thank you, LA. Heart, smile, heart, heart. Kitty cat. I don't know what the kitty's for, but thank you for the kitty cat. And then Deborah getting $400 a month for SNAP. Now, our big inspiration story in the last 7 days, for so many reasons, has been Johnny, because Johnny got 7 items. Yeah, 7 items, which is at least 7 phone calls, because the 7 items are in 7 different places. Number 2, he got $80,000. So let's go over the incredible details of this starting right now. Why are we covering this? Because 4 stimulus checks are not coming this week. They're not coming last week. They're not coming next week. Nothing for 4 stimulus is coming next week. This money for third stimulus is available right now. And while I said this before, I haven't said this in a few months. This channel in 2020 was established. And at the time when I came into the space, a lot of people had already been told elsewhere to watch for the arrival of a second stimulus check, and that they made their whole life dependent upon that arrival of a second stimulus check. I said, who did this to you? I would never do this to you on a channel. I said, I want you to have financial freedom. I want you to get money left and right, wherever it's available for you, so that you're not financially dependent upon the arrival of something like a stimulus check. And that was the message of this channel over the entire duration up to the present, but I haven't said it recently. So I want to make it very clear to you, is that this money is available for you now. It's a lot of money. It's not $500. It's $5,000 to $100,000 of money. And it's a lot of money that could give you financial freedom so that you are not dependent on the arrival date of a fourth stimulus check. Can we see them? Can we see them? You know what I'm thinking about. Yeah, they are. Wanda and Will when? When? When is Congress? When is Nancy? When is Bernie? Oh, please stop it. Let's get some money for rent and utilities. But let's start with Johnny. Johnny got $12,000 for SNAP. He got $10,000 for EIDL, $1,000, $2,000 for taxes. He got $21,000 for rent, and then another $25,000 somewhere else, and then $9,000 for utilities. Then he got $50 a month for internet and phone, bringing his grand total to $80,000. Imagine the financial freedom that Johnny has now created for himself by getting $80,000 of his bills around the household paid by the federal government. So get a pen and paper ready right now, because I'm going to get you this money right now. If you got one item, today we're going to get the other items for you as well. We're going to get some rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, homeowners assistance, and homeowners utilities. This is the number one story in broadcast media that people need this money. Well, this is the channel that gets you the money. No other channel in the United States is dedicated 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to getting people money, except LA. So let's go over the incredible money that people are getting for this rent. It's a lot. People are now heading to nearly $20,000 or more. We have nearly a half dozen people, and let's look at the graphic. Wow, deliciousness. Look at that. Purple Hawks, Purple Power, Calcito VIP, getting over $20,000 of rent. This is real. Look at these numbers. Then Johnny just revealed to us he got $9,000 for utilities, so that's a higher number. Numbers are going higher by the day, which is great. It means that people are watching this channel more and more. More people are subscribing, more people are becoming members and learning better how to get the money than ever before. And then when we look at Snap, Snap was about $4,000 when we looked at it back in May or June. Now people are getting $25,000 annualized for Snap. You're going to see who that $25,000 person is in a second. And then suddenly we realize how this is sort of dominoed in a wonderful way. We had people really happy with just one item maybe 2 months ago. I said, no, go get the other items. Then Mark and then Nisi and Art Sullivan got 3. And that inspired a countless generation to now get 3. Nancy getting 3 items at $32,000. Nisi at 3 items at $23,000. And you're going to you just met Johnny, who got 7 items at $80,000. But what about Mark at $32,000? So Mark's story is very typical of what's going on now. Mark got 2 items at $32,000, rent and utilities. But what happened with Mark's situation? Let me show you, because this is very typical of what's going on. On air for 5 days, I said to Mark, why did you not get Snap? It's one of the easiest of all the items to get. You reach out to the Department of Agriculture, get it. I'll go over it in a second. Well, within 5 days, he got Snap. I'll go over the amount of money in a second. Number 2, he told his friend about this channel, which is a very common situation. If you have a neighbor that's having problems with rent, or a neighbor who hasn't gotten Snap, do the same thing. And that's what's happening, is that a lot of word of mouth is bringing people into this channel. Chanan, a week ago today, says, I told my friend about you, L.A., and she's now addicted to your channel. I love that. She got $21,000 from you now. Wow. $9,000 for rent, $5,000 for utilities, and $6,000 annualized for Snap. Then we have Dawn, we have Mary, we have Joanne, we have Becca Leanne, with Crayola got money in the last few days. Well, now you see that viewers are telling their friends to come on over, because there's big money available for them in this third stimulus package. So then what was the third part of the story for Mark? Well, the third part was that Mark is now not content with 2 items or 3 items. He's going for more, and I'll have more about him in the next few days. And then finally, he got Snap. How much did he get? Mark got $19,000 of Snap. Yes, you heard me right, $19,000, which brings his grand total to $50,500, which Mark got from this channel. But if you think that the sky is the limit, it is not. Because look at Lorraine, who, because this channel's reporting, got over $105,000 for rent, food, and additional. And there you go, because this is what we've been doing since day one. In spring of last year, I launched this channel in April of last year, because people had applied for the EIDL loan and EIDL grant and were not getting approved. Their applications were stuck in what I called a vortex, 331, 330, 48 vortex. Bombshell. If you remember that, jump in the live chat and post it. Well, and they needed guidance on how to get their applications approved. And one after another, I got applications approved. $25 million of EIDL loans approved from me in this channel, saving people's homes, their businesses, and their employees' homes. 3 days later, something went live. It was an application. It was one of the most important applications of this pandemic. And when it went live on the 28th, only a few states went live on it, even though they were all supposed to. California didn't go live on it. I started detailing it 3 days earlier, saying get ready to apply, because the moment it opens, you'll get the money. I had some viewers get the money literally the first day it went open. And guess what? Some people who didn't apply initially were stuck for 3 weeks because they didn't apply on the 28th, the day it opened. But I helped viewers like Eileen Bellenkamp out of Florida, which was delayed several months in even going live, getting $15,000. That application was called PUA, one of the most complicated applications ever covered on this channel. Then in fall of 2020, second stimulus was not coming. It's just like now. And I said right now, do not be dependent upon the arrival date of that second stimulus check of $600. It may not come when you think it's going to come, and it's only $600. It may not cover the bills for the holidays. And I got viewers $250,000 for rent, paying all their rent and utilities this spring, like Tyrone and his family for out of Boston. $16,000 they got. But now we're doing it bigger and bolder than ever before. So get that pen and paper ready, because you found the place where people are turning to get big sums of money to turn their lives around and give them incredible financial independence during the middle of this pandemic. We're going to get some rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and homeowners utilities. And something I don't always say is that if I go too fast or you want to rehear a part of this video, you can always replay it back by toggling the button under the screen to pull it back and replay that section. Here's some introductory remarks. First, you're going to reach out to different places, which I'm going to show you. Each place has different pots of money. So if one says no, reach out to the next. Second, they also have different eligibility. So if one says no, who cares? Reach out to the next one. Number 3, listen to the keywords I say in the video. It really helps get people approved. And number 4, every state has money for you. Every state was given the same amount of money from the federal government based upon the number of residents it has. All right, you ready? Here you go. Here are the 6 places you reach out to. Your city hall, your city housing authority. That's 2. Your county hall, your county housing authority. That's 4. And your state hall and your state housing authority. That's 6. And the keywords you're going to say are rent assistance because of COVID. Rent or mortgage or utility assistance because of COVID. You got it. You can do this. I have confidence in you doing this. If you've ever picked up the phone to call for a water leak or a gas line outage or something like that, then you know how to talk with the representatives. The only difference is you're just now asking for the money. Congratulations to Tim and Linda, who got this wonderful pot of money as well. If you got it as well, post in the live chat. The next pot of the money is the money coming back for unemployment, is the money coming back for SNAP. SNAP is money for food, and it pays a lot. How much does it get, and where do you get it, and what is it? SNAP is money for food that you get from Department of Agriculture. Lynn Glenn got it for herself, her son, and her mom. And how much is it paying? Well, the incredible great news is that it's now paying upwards of $25,000 for some people. Mark, earlier in this video, you saw he was getting $19,000. Well, guess what? Now he's getting $25,000. What's happening? Why did he go from 19 to 25? Because of a wonderful new order announced 2 weeks ago live on this channel. Department of Agriculture is increasing everyone's benefits an average of 25% a lifetime, starting in October, automatically nationwide. Wow, incredible, great news. If you got SNAP as well, post your success stories in the live chat right now. The incredible next pot of the money is the money coming back from your state due to overpayment of computer error and unemployment benefits. That money is absolutely wonderful. The money is landing to direct deposit across the board. And the money is paying viewers like $3,000 to $5,000 for this channel. So where is it landing? Direct deposit, otherwise in the mail. And the great news is that this last week, the Microsoft announced the upgrade of Windows operating systems from 10 to 11. And guess what? That the federal government has ordered states to upgrade their computer systems. And so those upgrades of those computer systems for people that were running Windows 10, 1910 version. We had to rub 2 sticks together to light things across the board. There you go. Well, the next pot of the money is the money coming back from the federal government due to overpayment of unemployment benefits and computer and your taxes. Margaret got it, Cod got it, Michael got it. Incredible, great news across the board. Now, let's go over all the details of this starting right now. How much is it average generally paying? It's generally paying about $1,200, $1,400, but some viewers have gotten $1,800 to $2,000 for this as well. It's landed by direct deposit, otherwise in the mail. But here's a little bit more about that in a second, but here's a personal message first from me to you. This channel is launched for me to help you get big money, and it's also for you to help other people. So if you're on the live chat, post your success stories for rent, utilities, food, and internet that you've gotten, because when you do, you help other people. A lot of people need inspiration to pick up the phone and just call. Just pick up the phone and just call. And when you see these numbers, you realize, wait a second, I need to call. I need to call because these are a lot of money. This money is absolutely incredible. Look at the numbers for utilities, which are now going higher across the board. Then we realize that Snap may have been something we had overlooked. A lot of people never heard of Snap till they found this channel, like Larry Maui, now gained $6,000 annualized. Then people were inspired by Art Sullivan and Nisi get 3 items. They're getting 3 items. And then the sums of money are going bigger and bolder than ever before. Look at these numbers right there. $19,000 for Snap, heading to $25,000. Incredible sums of money across the board. And there you go. These are the incredible numbers, and so post your success stories in the live chat right now. You inspire other people across the board. When are these monies landing in direct deposit from IRS? You can track it. Go to irs.gov and do a transcript search, and 70% of the time it will work. It will reveal the tax return you filed and the taxes you paid, and then the refund check you're getting. And then it'll also reveal the details of the Joe Manchin fan club. There is one? No, there's no fan club. Can we top that? Yes. As we go into the second part of this Four Stimulus Check Update 2021, starting right now. Deal done, signed, sealed. A $3.5 trillion recon has now passed. It's incredible, great news across the board because this is historic. Number 1, there is a recon. Number 2, it's $3.5 trillion. Number 3, it's all checks for the American people. Number 4, it doesn't need a single Republican vote. Let's go over all the incredible details of how we got to this spot. We took roads and bridges out of the recon and put it into something called the bipartisan, making the recon passable. And that is what a conservative publication confirms in my reporting. The higher the price tag was on the recon before, the harder it was to pass. There you go. But by allowing the Democrats to take out some of the spending from the recon, roads and bridges put in the bipartisan, the overall price tag of the recon got smaller. In other words, the bipartisan deal made the recon passable. Now, there's a reason why you only watch LA, because I report to you news months before it happens, not after it happens. And here's what you need to know, is that in the month of June and July, I reported to you that a fourth stimulus recon of a $3.5 trillion price tag was passing. How did I know that back then? Because the way they do legislation, and I'm sort of going to hit this nail on the head very strongly over the next 2 weeks, is they first caucus, they first meet amongst themselves, and they talk about what do you want to do, how do you want to do it, and when they agree upon how they want to do it, then calling the vote is much of nothing. And I need to make that sort of clear because I saw that in some of the comments yesterday where people are saying, when are they writing the bill, when are they voting? I think people sort of think that they figure out what they're going to do after they write something, or they figure out what they're going to do when they're about to vote. No. These are legislators. They figure it out before the process starts. Let me make that clear again. They figure out what they're doing before they write and vote, so that by the time they're writing and they're voting, they've already agreed upon it. And I don't think I've made that clear, so that's why I want to make this clear to you. And that's what happened in the recon. They agreed in the month of June and July that they're doing a recon 1 and that they're doing a $3.5 trillion price tag, so that when they wrote it, and then when they called it for a vote, it was already done. That's what happened with that recon procedural. And that's what's going to happen with the recon substantive as well. And that is why they had said we need to go big and bold. Representative Richie Torres, Democrat out of New York, and Representative Ilhan Omar, Democrat out of Minnesota, both progressives, had said we need a larger recon that goes big as bold as we want. They got it eventually, $3.5 trillion. And that's why the president, after everyone agreed upon the recon, said protect my recon, meaning protect it till the vote is passed. And it did pass. And that's what Jayapal was told, and Brian Schatz, both Democrats and progressives, the White House saying protect my recon, because everything in there is progressive priorities, checks for the American people. So what's a recon procedural? What's a recon substantive? What is the difference between that and a bipartisan? Let's go over all the incredible details starting right now. And let me go back to that message I just explained a second ago. Now that the tow truck, the recon procedural, has passed over the finish line and it's time to do the tow hitch, it does not mean that recon substantive is determined on the House floor the moment they're voting and looking at a bill. So some people think it's the reverse situation, that you write it, then you argue it, and then you vote it, and then you decide. No. They decide at the very beginning. They decide when they're having their meetings behind closed doors this week, this weekend, next week, about what the terms and conditions are of the recon substantive. So once they've agreed upon it, then they know what to write, and when they call the vote to vote on it, they've already agreed upon this. And this is what caucusing is called, when you go and meet with people concurrently. You may not like it because you don't get to see what they're doing, but that's how legislators work. They go to their offices and say, hey, what do you think about this? So let's go over what a recon is and what a bipartisan is. Step 2 pass, very different across the board. Recon your money. not your money, bipartisan. Recon is also called the reconciliation, also called the budget bill. Price tag $3.5 trillion. Also called the Democratic Spending Plan or the Progressive Social Reform Plan. Bipartisan infrastructure, roads and bridges. Very, very different things. Yesterday, someone asked me, do we have three steps we have to do? No, 3 bills we have to do, not 3 steps. So recon procedural, done. Recon substantive now underway and also bipartisan. So let's go over what the difference is between recon procedural and recon substantive is. And this is very important to listen to for later in the final 15 minutes of this video. Stay at the very end where we go over the issue of application-based stimulus. So recon procedural says $3.5 trillion, and how are we putting, where are we putting this money? Which committee is going to get the money? $10 this committee, $20 that committee, done. And then recon substantive goes over the terms and conditions. Okay, now the committee is given $10. How is it going to spend the money? Notice the word is committees. It's not IRS. They're not giving $3.5 trillion to the IRS and saying, IRS send out $3.5 trillion to the American people for their teeth, because the IRS doesn't know about your teeth. I'll explain more about that later in this video. So how do we get to this wonderful spot? We got to this wonderful spot from Jayapal, of course, writing Schumer a letter saying, Chuck Hall to vote on the recon. The letter was signed by 12 House Democrats, part of 100-plus House Democrats who recently wrote the president a letter saying, we're going to be putting monthly forced stimulus checks in the forced stimulus recon. Wow, can we top that? Yes. As 7 members of the House Ways and Means Committee recently wrote the president a letter saying, we're putting monthly forced stimulus checks in the forced stimulus recon. Now let's go over again those terms and conditions as proposed by different groups about these stimulus checks. And let's look and see how they line up, because Purple Power, you got to push and make sure they keep your promise for you. So we have the senators, we have them at a monthly, but they don't say the number of months or the amount. We have AOC and Omar not telling us the number of months. We have the House bill, which is $1,000 a month, not $2,000 a month. And we have the House Ways and Means saying monthly, but not saying the amount. And how do we get to this wonderful spot? By taking roads and bridges out of the recon and by taking the global minimum corporate tax rate out of there as well. Now it's easier to write the recon, easier to pass the recon, and easier to get the recon to the finish line, because this confusing thing, which I don't need to really go over, is out of it. Can we top that? Yes. As we go into the final 15 minutes of this video, we're going to go over the calculations of those MSCs with the world exclusive only heard on this channel. Why broadcast media has dropped the ball, but not this channel and not you. Why you're doing such an incredible job, but why you need to pick it up on these MSCs. It's world exclusive. You're only here on this channel. I'm glad you're here because it's coming up in the final 15 minutes of this video. And with that, if you've gotten one item from this channel, you're ready to kill it under forced stimulus. But make sure you get the first item. Rent, utilities, food, or internet. Because once you do, you have the skill set ready to get the money under forced stimulus. Forced stimulus will be about picking up the phone. You've picked up the phone before to call your cousin or your aunt or buy some or order some pizza. You can pick up the phone and ask for some utility assistance because of COVID, rent assistance because of COVID, or mortgage assistance because of COVID. I'm proud of you, and I know you can do it. Here's a little bit about the community page, which will help you get the other sums of money if you can't get those other ones as well. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LA Daily for the excitement of the new LA Live Daily. The excitement starts on mornings LA at 9 a.m. Home LA returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LA at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LA Late. And the excitement continues right now, this beautiful Labor Day weekend, direct from Santa Monica, California. I'm going to be with you all weekend long. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of laughs. We're going to have a lot of information, and we're going to have a lot of moolah. So stay with me all Labor Day weekend long. I'll try to go on location live with you as well. Boy, what an exciting weekend. So excited you're here. Let's go over those four stimulus checks in the second half of this video. Then we'll be cutting to fifth stimulus for just a blink of an eye. And then we'll be cutting to the MSC and what the number one guy wants to do for you. And we're going to go with some calculations of this, which you're going to see for the first time on this channel. And then we're going to go and meet our new cast of characters because they have some opinions. They have an opinion, and we have to share their opinion as well. It's a big day, and with that, I'm so excited for you to join me, and this is LA, America's only 24-hour a day, 7 days a week financial news channel in America. Like the video, hit that like button. It really helps in the algorithm rankings. Subscribe. Let's do it. Let's do a couple hundred subscribers today. Next stop, 1 million. And also, consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino, VIP. Meantime, if you're not signing up for those LA alerts, please do so. People are loving them. I love them. It's the ability for me to send you breaking news alerts and a link to every video so you do not miss a video across the board. Watch that confirmation email. It may be in the spam folder. Now let's cut to that fifth stimulus for just a blink of an eye. That fifth stimulus starts in December. It raises your benefits up if you're on SSI and SSDI, removes the inflation, removes the asset limit, adds an inflationary benchmark, removes the marriage penalty, and implies and removes the income exclusion. Step one is they'll raise your benefits up. Then they'll apply the benchmark. Let's say it's 5% of inflation. You'll go up another 5% a lifetime. It's incredible, great news. More about that in the next recording. Also, will there be a fifth stimulus check? There will be. And next year. And finally, if you haven't become a Purple Hawk, what are you doing? It's days like this where you turn on broadcast media and you realize this is why this channel existed. Broadcast media's number one story was people being evicted. People being evicted and needing help. Did the broadcast media story show them how to get help? No. It was just like, here's people having problems. Deal with it. That was their breadth of reporting. My focus, getting you money. And as Purple Hawks, I've been helping getting you money since day one. But I launched Purple Hawks in January this year for the following reason. Because every stimulus package has a lot more money in there than just a stimulus check. And Purple Hawks is delivered daily from me to you, a breakdown of all the big money under first, second, and third stimulus. And what's proposed under fourth and fifth stimulus. That's why Purple Hawks are getting $20, $30, $40, $50,000 routinely from this channel. Here's what you need to know is that when a third stimulus was passed, and I looked, I said, $1,400, sure, okay, fine. But Purple Hawks, you need to pounce because there's over $14,000 in this stimulus package for all of you. And certainly in January, it's hard to convince people about that. Now it's not. Now you see how people literally, like Chanan's friend, found, which referred to me by a viewer, Chanan's a Purple Hawk of 2 months, told her friend to watch this channel, and the friend became addicted to this channel and now got 21,000. That shows you how people now realize, yeah, there's a lot of money available for you there. And one of the things I haven't said a lot is that a lot of this third stimulus money does not carry into fourth stimulus. So don't assume that it's in third stimulus that's going to be again in fourth stimulus. A lot of the items in fourth stimulus will be totally brand new that won't overlap with third stimulus. And with that, we go into the final 15 minutes of this video starting right now. Deal done, signed, sealed. A $3.5 trillion recon is a done deal because the recon procedure has passed. It means number one, there'll be a recon. Number two, it'll be $3.5 trillion. And number three, it'll have checks for the American people, but mostly application-based checks. Now, early in the video, you saw me show you that graphic that said the committees have money, not IRS. IRS doesn't know about your teeth, your internet, your dental. And so IRS can't send you out the money. That's why they're not giving the money to IRS. The money is given to committees that govern these subject matters. Here's an example of the subjects that they potentially want to give stimulus checks to. Checks of all different kinds, like checks for clean energy, checks for seniors, checks for workers, checks for tax breaks, checks for school meals for all, checks for workers, and checks for free internet, and also checks, there we go, checks for farmers, and checks for free internet, and checks for seniors alike, dental, vision, and hearing. That's why it's important, because you have to understand that IRS doesn't have money for your vision. They don't know about your vision. So how would anyone know about your vision? A committee that you reach out to, say, I need money for my vision. Okay, sir, here you go. Application base does not mean 50 pages of filling out applications. It means picking up the phone, calling. And this is where Purple Hawks, the viewers of this channel, you, the subscribers of this channel, are going to do incredibly well. Because if you've gotten 1, 2, or in the case of Johnny, 7 items on the third stimulus, imagine how well you're going to do on a fourth stimulus. There's going to be lots of different items you're going to qualify for. I'm going to show you how to get these items as I'm showing you how to get these third stimulus items. And as a family, you're going to pounce and get these checks. Imagine third stimulus passed in what, January, February, and we're now in September, and I'm still getting people tens of thousands of dollars daily from a third stimulus package from the spring. That shows you how much money and how many different items are available for you to get. We'll be doing the same thing in fourth stimulus when it becomes law. But if you're a Purple Hawk and you've gotten these sums of money, or a subscriber and you've gotten one of these sums of money from this channel over the last few months, you're going to kill it under fourth stimulus. Now let's go over the stimulus checks. Slightly different. $3.5 trillion of application-based checks confirmed in that recon. But still a push underway is those stimulus checks. Now, here's what you need to know, is that the recon, the full name of the recon is called the Budget Bill, Reconciliation Budget Bill. Which committee oversees this budget bill on the Senate? The Senate Budget Committee. Yeah, just a little obvious. The Senate Budget Committee oversees the budget bill. And who's the person in the Budget Committee who oversees the Budget Committee of the budget bill? The chairman of the Budget Committee. Oh, who's that? Bernie Budget Sanders. Yes. Bernie Sanders is chairman of the Budget Committee that oversees the budget bill, that oversees your budget, which oversees your stimulus checks. Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't see how important that is. It is very important. So you would have thought that in the last 6 months that the broadcast media would have once called up Bernie Sanders and say, hey, are you doing stimulus checks? Are you doing monthly stimulus checks? Are you doing any stimulus checks? Or maybe they would have picked up the phone and called someone, not on the budget committee, maybe another senator who's a close confidant on the president. Are you doing stimulus checks? They never did that. They never did that. Do you think another YouTube channel did it? No. Did anyone ever do it? No. Did anyone ever pick up the phone and just ask? No. So what did they do? They ran a story that there's nothing because I haven't asked anyone. That's ridiculous reporting, isn't it? There isn't anything because I haven't asked anyone, if there is. That's like saying the earth is flat because you haven't seen the other side of it. Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah. So anyway, what happened was 2-3 weeks ago, one of the viewers of this channel picked up the phone and called up Senator Chris Coons. Why? Because I had told viewers to pick up the phone and call your elected officials and push Purple Power. I spoke to the staffer at Chris Coons, Democrat Senator, Delaware, one of Joe Biden's old confidants, and the representative of the staffer at Chris Coons' office said, yes, Senator Chris Coons is proposing a monthly stimulus check in the first stimulus recon. There you go. Done deal. Someone picked up the phone, got the answer. Yes, it's being proposed on the Senate side among the Democrats. Well, last weekend, Bernie Sanders issued a statement. He was talking about the budget bill and him as budget chairman of the Budget Committee. He said, prior budget chairman just sort of did things in D.C. I like to get out amongst the people. I said, I can translate that for you. That means he wants to hear from you. He wants to hear your input among the people about what you think he should do with this budget bill as he's working on the final caucusing. As I said earlier in this video, they caucus, they decide amongst themselves what they're doing, and when they agree upon it, it's done. Then all they have to do is just write it up and call for a vote. They don't decide when they're writing up, and they don't decide when it's voting. They decide while they're caucusing. He wants your input. So what I say last weekend, pick up the phone, call. Pick up the phone and call. That's what Lynn Glendon and Brother Joshua did. But very few of you picked up the phone and called. Very few of you called anyone. And Brother Joshua picked up the phone, volunteer from 2020 at the community page, wonderful volunteer and wonderful viewer, longtime viewer, picked up the phone and asked Bernie Sanders' staffer in a kind, polite, and professional, respectful manner, is Senator Sanders doing an MSC, a monthly stimulus check? Answer, yes. Well, there you go. How hard would it have been for a broadcast media with 200 affiliate stations across all the country and local cities to call up the phone and do the same thing? They never did it. Brother Joshua did in a blink of an eye. Got an answer. What was the amount? Let's go over all the details. Number one, monthly. Yes. The amount of somewhere between $1,000 to $1,400 a month. Yes. And then number of months, 3 to 6 months. Yes. Great deal. Great news. But there was a catch. Bernie Sanders' staffer told Brother Joshua that Bernie Sanders needs support from the American people. Well, this is what Purple Power does. We support people all along the way. You pick up the phone, you call Bernie Sanders' office, you go to his website, you go to his Facebook account, you send him a message saying, I support you, so make sure he sees it. Make sure the staffer sees it. Make sure they receive your message. Also Elizabeth Warren, also Ron Wyden. They're the trifecta. The 3 Democratic senators who's all along with Senator Coons, which I guess would make it 4, always wanted to give you a monthly stimulus check. You make the phone call and make the push across the board. You got this. Now let's go over some calculations, and let's go over some 2 other things across the board. Number one, yesterday I debuted a new cast member on this channel. Her name is Freedom Frida. Why is she called Freedom Frida? Because she loves freedom of speech as the way to deliver faux facts. And she also has a particular strange eyebrow thing that she does. Yeah, there it goes. So what does Freedom Frida say on Twitter about the Bernie Sanders situation? Some Freedom Fridas are saying, I want the House bill, which pays me $2,000 a month for a year plus pandemic. No, that's fake facts. House bill never paid you $2,000 a month. It paid you $2,000 the first month, $1,000 thereafter. Don't act like you don't know what it said, because I've only said that bill 1,000 times on the channel. You know exactly what the bill said. No. And yet, overnight, on some of the comments in the channel, some people are saying, I want that House bill of 12 months of $2,000 checks. That was not the House bill. It's $1,000 a month after the first month, $2,000, which is not $24,000. You're asking for $24,000 of stimulus checks. You can ask for anything you want, but don't tell someone that that's what the House bill said, because that's not what the House bill said. That's Freedom Frida's fake facts. Now, the other thing that's very important to understand is that Bernie Sanders' number is very close to the House bill and sort of mirrors what we were talking about maybe about a month ago. Remember how we always talked about how senators were proposing larger monthly payments over a quicker time frame, which eventually would be less money, but you get the money faster, compared to the House members, which were collectively going to pay you more money over time, but month to month would be paying you less. Well, House bill $1,000 a month. Let's compare that to the high end of Bernie Sanders, $1,400 a month. So Bernie's paying you nearly 40% more on the high end than the House bill proposed. And he's getting that done in 6 months, where the House bill is dragging out over a year. So what is 6 months times $1,400? The high end of Bernie Sanders, it's about $8,000, $9,000. Compare that to $13,000 over 12 months. $13,000, 12 months versus about $9,000 over 6 months. Vote House of Senate right now, because a lot of you have very different opinions about it. Some people rather get the bigger payouts quicker because you put in the bank and you get the interest on the money over the next 6 months thereafter. Some people would rather say, I'm fine with smaller payments of the House bill, $1,000, and drag it out over 12 months. But here you go. That is what we're at issue here. Now, finally, let's meet our new cast member, because I love him. I love the new cast member on this channel. In the last few days, you've met other cast members. You first met Calendar Colleen. It's September. It's September. That's all she ever says. Is she basically says, hey, this September 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. She's pointing at the days in September. And she's like, hey, it's September. Yes, it's September. I know Colleen's September. She doesn't really help us as Purple Power, because all she does is keep on telling us what month it is. And the response is, yeah, and next month is October. Then you're asking me if she was dating anyone, if she had dates with anyone. She does have dates with someone. His name is Calendar Cod, and his statement is always the same thing. Whatever happened in July? Whatever happened July 4th? Do they know whatever happened in July? Whatever happened to August? That's all he ever repeats. He doesn't help anyone else either, because he's always looking backwards, not forward. And then we have Freedom Frida, who just has fake facts galore and just walks around with a hoard of cash in her hand and a strange sort of eyebrow thing. But today I introduce our newest cast members because I love them. What is their name and where they live? Their names are Wendy Wen and her husband, Will. They live in Wentzville, Missouri, which is really a town. There's actually a town called Wentzville, Missouri. What does Wendy Wen always say? She just says when to everything. She just says when to everything. You'll see her in the comments. She says, as to the Senate coming back, when? House coming back, when? Vote on the bill, when? Calling the bill, when? Drafting the bill, when? When are we seeing the bill, when? When? That's all she ever says. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, you know, you get a lunch of her. It's just a lot of fun. Mrs. Wen, what would you like for to start for a drink? When? I mean, now, Mrs. Wen, what would you like to start? Would you like some Perrier, some water? When? I'm asking you what, not when. When? That's when to everything. It's just, she does not have a clear thought in her mind. Yeah, that's probably why the Wens always wear hard hats, because they're sort of a little bit hard. A little hard in the head. They just keep on saying when about everything. When are they voting? When is the bill? When is the recon? When? Can you just stop it already? Do you think they're friends of Calendar Colonies? I think they are. And with that, we'll learn more about the Wens of Wentzville tomorrow on this channel. But coming up next, when is Overnight's Crypto. When? Right after this video. When? I just told you when it is. It's right after this video. Then we go into Evenings Out Light. When? In the evening. That's why it's called Evenings Out Light. Oh my goodness. It's at 5 o'clock Pacific. It's at 8 o'clock, 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. When? I just told you. And so subscribe. 4,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. When? Last year. Oh my goodness. Like the video. When? Now. Like it right now. And consider becoming a member. When? Right now. Become a member right now. Stay focused. When? Just always stay focused, Wendy, okay? All right? Just stay focused all the time, Wendy. Stop asking me when. And stay with LA for more.